You chose absolutely right tuning into Rwanda television tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a great and productive day. This is what makes up our top stories. Rwanda's First Lady, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, has urged the youth to prevent anything that would disturb their conscience.
COMESA member states have pledged to boost investment in essential sectors, including infrastructure, energy, and telecommunication, as catalysts of their development.
We are very, very glad to have your company tonight and coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And mine, Martina Avera.
How are you doing, Martina?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
Very, very great.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll start it off tonight on the local scene. Rwanda's First Lady, Her Excellency Jeannette Kagame, urged the youth to prevent anything that would disturb their conscience. The First Lady reiterated this at the closing ceremony of the 13th annual holiday camp, Edified Generation. Adam Squizera starts us off tonight.
Umutoni Wasekeli, a former student at Fawe Girls School, who became first in the best 5 of the O-level exams for the 2022-2023 academic year. Umutoni Wase was awarded as the most excellent performer in the O-level national exams of 131,000 students nationwide.
I was very happy, and I'm really thankful to God that made it happen, and my teachers as well. The advice I'd give to my fellow students is that in each class you're in, you have to always study as someone who's preparing to sit for a national exam, be in senior 1 or senior 2, because you can't prepare yourself on the last day.
Umutoni Wase from Kayonza district scored over 90% total marks in the national exams. Same with Patrick Rukundo. They affirmed their thankful testimonies to the Imbuto Foundation that pledged much contribution in their education.
I'm really thankful to Imbuto Foundation for paying my school fees, since you may know that many of us were brilliant in class but we can't afford the cost of school fees. That's why I really appreciate Imbuto for that. They helped me and my fellow students who are here, because you know that there are many students who don't even have any hope to study because of their families particularly. Personally, my dreams are to become a medical doctor.
I wouldn't say that we were in good conditions at home, since I was on that point of thinking on dropping out from school, because it was really hard in the family. But for real, I could say that it was God that did it, since Imbuto Foundation helped us because I was having good marks by that time. But later, they told me that Imbuto Foundation is going to cover my school fees, to the extent of that I can't ask anything from home. For sure, I'm really thankful. The First Lady Jeannette Kagame expressed her gratitude to the fact that the youth are using the opportunities they were given, where she also urged them to avoid anything that would hinder their education. She also appreciated the Imbuto Foundation major partners that made all this journey successful in terms of uplifting the community's education.
I stand before you with a heart full of gratitude and hope. You've matched Imbuto Foundation's commitment to uplift entire communities by facilitating the access of Rwandan children to the brightest and greenest path to prosperity, and that is education. And the children you have put your trust in have indeed excelled. Many of them are now successful young professionals, contributing, and yes, in some cases, driving our nation's development. For this, I'm certain that both our dear 21-year-old Edified Generation and the entire Imbuto Foundation sincerely thank you.
First Lady Jeannette Kagame also noted that although the country's goal of providing education to all is being achieved, there should be some efforts to be made, hence to solve the problem of school dropouts.
We have noted the school dropouts to be on the rise in spite of our consistent efforts. Unfortunately, there persist factors outside of our control, such as global economic constraints, that hinder even our most brilliant students in completing their education. Imbuto Foundation pledges to renew and multiply its effort in preventing our future leaders of tomorrow, our future partners of tomorrow, our beloved present children from being deprived of the education which must remain their human right.
This gap was an integral component of the dubbed Edified Generation scholarship program, through which the foundation supports the education of brilliant secondary students whose families would otherwise not be able to afford the cost of living in schools of excellence. Since its launch in 2002, the Imbuto Foundation has awarded 10,641 scholarships to secondary school students, promoting access to quality education for boys and girls throughout the country. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adam Squizera, for that report. Now, the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, also known as COMESA, member states have pledged to boost investment in essential sectors, including infrastructure, energy, and telecommunication, as catalysts of their development. The commitment was made on Thursday during the 13th meeting of the Joint Committees on Transport and Communications, Information Technology, and Energy in Kigali. We have more on this report.
Inadequate and poor infrastructure was highlighted as a major hindrance to development in COMESA member states. This derives from various factors that require collective collaboration.
The challenges obviously are speed, which is very low, but also we talked a bit about the idea about the political will that's already there for multiple partners, but that we need to take advantage of. You see that multiple countries sign off, but really when it comes to implementation, take a bit long to implement some of the programs that we have. For example, in air transportation, we've got the SATM, the Single African Air Travel Market, and this is a policy document that tells us that we should be one sky, help people move along or across the continent at an affordable price. But we still see that it's very expensive to travel, almost impossible to travel by air.
These issues have been a constant interference to transportation, especially for landlocked countries, hence the need for large multinational projects like railway lines, improved water and air transport.
Road connections are not sufficient. Road quality is also a challenge. This is one of the areas we work intensively in COMESA with member states to develop the quality of our roads, to increase the physical infrastructure when it comes to road connections. Of course, it's not only about road. There are other modes of transport that are usually better suited for regional integration, like railway networks, river transport, maritime transport. These are all areas where we do a lot of work in COMESA. To give you some examples, when it comes to river transport, we have this very promising project to connect Lake Victoria to the Mediterranean Sea. It's in the feasibility stage. This can be a qualitative shift, can be a game changer in the region. We're also, as we discussed the transport infrastructure yesterday and the day before, we agreed at the technical level, and this is up to the ministers here today to endorse, to develop a master plan of railway networks in the COMESA region. Maritime transport is an important, of course, mode of transport as well, usually heavily used for trade. We have a lot of island states, we have a lot of coastal states, and we're developing the potential and the infrastructure in this field as well.
The COMESA ministerial meeting approved the report of the technical committee meeting that gathered in Kigali from 12th to 13th September. The report covers resolutions to speed up the implementation of regional projects as a way to remove barriers in the transportation sector. In this meeting, Rwanda showcased various projects under implementation in the energy, transportation and communication sectors. This includes power grids, ports as well as airports. On Thursday, there was a launch of calibration laboratories for meteorology, hydrology and air quality monitoring equipment for the Rwanda Meteorology Agency. This will favor the increase of the accuracy of the meteorological information that is currently at 85%. Prince Manzi with the report.
These are calibration laboratories constructed under a long-term project initiated by the Rwanda Environment Management Authority with the aim of leveraging Rwanda's capacity to forecast extreme events and respond to natural disasters, as elaborated by Faustin Munyazikwiye, the Deputy Director General. It is a project initiated in 2019 and set to conclude in 2025 with the aim of leveraging the capacity of institutions and citizens in response to climate change and in all sectors. The Director General of the Rwanda Meteorology Agency, Aimable Gahigi, states that these laboratories will cut off the cost needed for data collection and adds that they set to favor the increase of the accuracy of the meteorology information. We are currently on 83% of accuracy level for long-term information and 85% for the short-term. As equipment needed for collecting data become available and modern, the accuracy level increases. The Minister of State in the Environment Ministry, Dr. Claudine Wera, points out that as the world is facing environmental challenges, it is crucial to equip the country with tools that will help in responding effectively to these challenges.
As we stand at the threshold of a future charged with environmental challenges, it's crucial that we equip the country with the tools and knowledge necessary to anticipate them effectively. The Calibration Center represents a grand leap forward in our ability to monitor, predict, and respond to meteorological, hydrological, and air quality phenomena. We pave the way for more precise climate models, which are essential to inform the climate policy making.
The Rwanda Standards Board demonstrates that these laboratories are equipped with the modern technology, and the aim is to have Rwanda as a hub for quality monitoring.
And moving ahead, the Chinese ambassador to Rwanda, Mr. Wang Zhekun, has reiterated his country's commitment to further the already existing good cooperation with Rwanda. In an exclusive interview with RBA, Mr. Wang started by commenting on how the relations stand as of now.
First, I would like to extend my sincere greetings to Rwanda people for the bilateral relations between China and Rwanda. I would say we share a very close and sincere relationship between our two countries and our two peoples. The friendship have a steadfast basis, and the leadership of our two leaders, we are going forward at a new fast pace for the development. We have a bilateral trust in every areas. We support each other for a development path. Although we have different conditions of the state and we are far away from each other, but we have a good understanding for development and the people's aspiration. So we share very good cooperations in various areas, in the bilateral affairs, in the cooperation in the development and economic growth. And also we are having more and more exchanges of the people. We have a lot of big projects in the building of our two countries. Some Chinese companies are supported to make contribution to the development of Rwanda. The infrastructure building, agriculture, education, health, and a lot of areas as well. We have made progress, and the Chinese are happy to be the partnership of Rwanda's development. I would like to give an example for the bilateral relations development. Recently, during the BRICS summit, President Xi Jinping proposed 3 plans for the cooperation with the African countries in the dialogue of the China-African leaders. We would like to work together, support the industrialization of the African countries, and agriculture modernization. And the third is the talent development plans. So all these initiatives will benefit the two sides. And we would like to work together with Rwanda and the Rwanda people to make more contributions for the better life of the local communities. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for that great overview of the great relations that the two countries share and the continued progression. Now, in your opinion, what do you think could be the role of media for both countries to change the negative narratives that are sometimes there against them by external forces?
It's a very good question about our media cooperation. We have realized a great success in our own development. But the story is not broadcast by the medias of other countries. We must make our own efforts in the broadcasting our stories and our success. I would like to suggest from my own experience, the first, we should have the belief we have the most best stories of our service. We can broadcast it everywhere. It can be shared by everyone in the world. Second, we would like to improve our channels and the cooperation in the world. We have the talent and the capacities to tell the story and to share the experience with others. Second, we would like to work together with the local communities and the local people to share this kind of stories. We would like to go about to share this kind of stories, and share the experience is a good way to make others believe and understanding your development path.
Yes.
So I believe it will be a good result after a thorough struggle and efforts after some time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. A shared experience is the way to go. Now, last but not least, what do you think is the way forward in terms of supporting each other in this shared journey that we have continued to see Rwanda and China take?
The road before us is not so easy, and we will work along our development path to find out the good experience and the good path to share with others. And another way we would like to cooperate between our agencies to the training programs to develop our capacity and to share our content and programs to improve our bilateral understanding, then work together to the third party. And the good news should be we have more and more capacities to work together and to support each other. So the good success will be realized in not so long time. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. We're looking forward to continued great relations between the two countries, and we would like to thank you for taking the time to sit here.
Thank you.
Yes, that was His Excellency, Mr. Wang Zukun, the Chinese ambassador to Rwanda. Yeah, now the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Rwanda, ICPAR, made a call to Rwanda to attend the accountancy courses, which may grow the domestic investment sector. Adam Squizera with more.
The Chief Executive Officer of the ICPAR, Amin Miramago, noted that the accountants who graduated for this program passed to over 55% of all exams, as he also appreciated the government of Rwanda for its facilitation of supporting university students who have been taking these courses. They all passed at the rate of 55%. The most impressive thing is that the majority of those students came from the University of Rwanda, since the market needs the professional accountants. Then, as our mandate is to deliver those professional high-skilled students. The president of ICPAR, Obadja Viraro, pointed out that the professional accountants have to help Rwanda to solve the problem of the various institutions who go bankrupt in either government and private sector.
Abantu bahombya leta bangana iki? Ariko niba habayeho igihombo kuko kigomba kubaho, it is part of life.
How many people do we have who leads the government to a loss? But if there have been a loss, that was meant to be. That's part of life. That's why people need to have such professional accountants. Therefore, the difference is that anyone who will misconduct, he or she will present it to us. Currently, Rwanda needs at least 10,000 professional accountants in order to solve the problem of losses that occur in the management of assets in public and private companies. Only those have been graduating from this program since 2012 are 1,115.
There you go. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us on this edition. My name as always is Sam Kalisa.
And mine, Martina Avera.
And I will say up until next time.
Stay safe.
And have a great evening.